Good morning, good morning, good morning. This is Uncle Chris and Journey Across Jamaica. Now, this morning I would like to go way back. As a matter of fact, I think I've discussed this topic that I'm going to go on now already on this page. I'm not sure how long that was, but I'm going to start a new series by doing different topics every day on the journey across Jamaica. Now, this morning, I want to go way back to 1664 when Sir Thomas Moodiford became Deputy Governor of Jamaica in those days. And he was given a job to, you would say, to map out or to come up with something that would divided up the country into parts. And what he did was really get the country to divide it into seven units, which they call administrative units. Now they're called parishes. And what he did was he mapped out seven of them. And the seven of them were consistent of these parishes that are now, some, one, two, couple of them are not around anymore because they have been integrated into other parishes. So I want to start out by saying that St. Andrew was one of those parishes, but the original name was Ligany, and there is another parish by the name of St. John. St. Catherine was spelled with a K, and we had Port Royal as a parish, and St. David also, and St. Thomas in the east, and of course Clarendon, which was the largest of the parishes in those days, right? In 1683, thereabout, the amount of parishes came up to about 15. They doubled up to about 15 parishes. And so a parish by the name of St. Dorothy, there's something interesting about St. Dorothy. St. Dorothy, I think most people are familiar with going to Old Harbour. You have to go to Church Pen. There is a church right there that is called the St. Dorothy's Anglican Church. Now that is the second oldest church situated on the same spot in Jamaica today, right? St. Dorothy is named from that place. That church is where that parish was, and so St. Dorothy was integrated into now what is St. Catherine, right? It became a bigger parish. We had St. Thomas in the Vale. I know a lot of people you might know or hear about Loida's Vale, Guanaba Vale. This is where St. Thomas in the Vale. That was the parish of St. Thomas in the Vale. Now, there was also St. George's, St. Marie, and Vere. Ooh, Vere. Vere was a parish. Did you really know that Vere was a parish that got integrated into Clarendon, becoming another large parish, making the parish much larger? And St. Anne, St. James, and St. Elizabeth were also added then. Now, after the 1692 earthquake, the surveyors, they came across, the survivors, not surveyors, sorry, the survivors, they came across, the survivors came across from the 1692 earthquake from Port Royal into the harbor of Kingston. And this was when it was formed. In 1693, Kingston became a little town by itself right there, right? And from then on, it starts to develop because it was once owned, the entire area, which was Kingston, was a 200-acre plot of land that was owned by Colonel Samuel Barry. Colonel Samuel Barry, he was a soldier that was part of the invading force, the expeditionary force of 1655 that captured Jamaica from the Spaniards, right? Now, in those days, what he did, that piece of land, he sold it to another soldier by the name of Captain William Beeston. Yeah, that was his name. And William Beeston, interestingly, he was the fourth English governor of Jamaica. And William Beeston, along with his lawyer, a man by the name of Nicholas Laws, and Nicholas Laws was the seventh governor of Jamaica in those days, right? And Kingston, by that time, became he was rushing. Well, William Beeston wanted Kingston to become the capital of Jamaica because of its seaport, and knowing that Spanish Town, which was the capital then, did not have a seaport, and Kingston was becoming more popular, and more people were coming in. And so what they did, they sold the land to the survivors for development, for housing purposes, and other commercial activities. And what they did, I think they forfeited, and they forfeited the agreement with the people that they sold the land, took it back from them and resold it again. Something else with that one. All right, now I will go on into the other parishes, because in 1738 there were 18 parishes, not 15. And Westmoreland, St. Elizabeth, St. James, St. Anne, Clarendon, Vere, St. Dorothy, St. John, St. Marie, St. Catherine with a K, St. Thomas in the Vale, Kingston, Kingston, yes, and St. Andrew, St. George, St. David, Portland, and St. Thomas in the east, right? Now, in 1758, the island had 3 counties, and these was Cornwall, Middlesex, and Surrey. And they were created like to facilitate the convenient holding of courts of justice and other civic activities that would take place. Now, in 1884, the Jamaica recorded its largest amount of parishes. In 1884, the largest amount of parishes. At that time, we had 22 parishes in all. However, the same parishes were melted into each other, and so the island was left with 14 parishes. Melcoffe, Manchester, Hanover, and Trelawney were also part of that 22 parishes that numbered in. Now, for each of the capital town that it served as a unit, in those days, Kingston had a housing settlement, and before even the town became Kingston, you should know this, that Civil in St. Anne's was the first capital of Jamaica, and that also the Spanish Town became the second capital. At one point, the capital was removed to Kingston for 1 year. For 1 year, Kingston was the capital of Jamaica, and then went back to Spanish Town. And in 1872, officially it was in 1872 that Kingston became the 5th capital of Jamaica, and remains so until today, right? And interestingly, I should tell you that the counties, each of them now has 4 parishes and 5 parishes, and so on. Like in Surrey, you have 4 parishes consisting of Kingston, St. Andrew, Portland, and St. Thomas. Middlesex has 5 parishes, where you have St. Catherine, St. Mary, Clarendon, St. Anne's, and Manchester. And Cornwall has 5 parishes, where you have St. Elizabeth, Trelawney, St. James, Westmoreland, Hanover, and of course it's the smallest parish that we really have. Now, this I want to say that this development of the early days, where we have the parishes in Jamaica, it was just to use these parishes to for administrative purpose, as I would have said before. Now, on my next journey across Jamaica, I will speak more about other developments of Jamaica, and the whole thing coming together, about the parishes and how they got their name, and how some of these streets downtown Kingston. As a matter of fact, I can say this now, that some of these streets downtown Kingston got their name from some of these colonels and soldiers that really was around, and governors. For instance, I'm going to tell you just now, Colonel Samuel Barry. That's how we got Barry Street, because Colonel Samuel Barry was the owner of Kingston, and apparently it was his hog's crawl, his pig's pen. This is where he was making his money, right? Until he sold the land to William Beeston, who turned it into a housing project. And from then, the streets were named. And so Colonel Samuel Barry is linked to Barry Street. The lawyer who was the negotiating person between the two persons, Colonel Samuel Barry and William Beeston, Sir Nicholas Laws, is linked to Law Street, right? And the William Beeston, of course, is Beeston Street. And Sir Peter Beckford, Peter Beckford, I think he was the 6th governor of Jamaica in those days. We have Beckford Street. Peter Heywood, we have Heywood Street. The Duke of Portland, we have Duke Street. Charles Knowles, Charles Street. Roger Elletson Road. Admiral John Benbow Street. These are the names of some of these persons, like Thomas Temple. We have Temple Lane. Captain Charles Darling. And we have Darling Street. And we have King George II, who is linked to King Street. And William of Orange. Orange Street, right? Major John Petchen Street. And Colonel Thomas Sutton. Yep, we got Sutton Street, right? Thank you. Good morning. Have a nice day. Journey across Jamaica. This is Uncle Chris.